you had talked quite a bit about how AI is going to change the world of consulting. But could you maybe dive a little bit deeper in where do you still see areas where humans have an edge or will have an edge?
I think humans. So if you break every job down into tasks, uh, you know, increasingly you think that those tasks, more and more of those tasks will end up being done by AI. And I think there's a few thoughts. Firstly, the bit that involves sitting down with the client, talking them through, holding their hand, engaging with them is going to become more and more important. So going away and doing the research, producing 200-page decks of slides, is probably going to be less and less important. It's probably less important in the first place, but it's going to be the human reach out, the ability to think in a meeting and so on, that I think is going to be more and more key. And the question is how you train the next generation of those people without the stuff that's there. The second thing I'd say is I think that the challenge here is going to be if you do something that is pretty niche, changes all the time, you're probably in a better position than if you're an organization that's basically spent the past, as most organizations have, 30, 40 years creating a playbook for how to do something. So if you've essentially got to a world where, it's okay, this is project 5B, let's push the button and here are the slides. Effectively, AI can do more and more of that type of stuff. So the more time we spend effectively building standardized models of behavior and standardized outputs, it's going to be harder and harder for the humans to really add much value or capture much on top of that. So part of the challenge here is what's the niche and what's the type of problem you're going to solve that isn't purely something that can be essentially standardized and done at massive scale. And I think I may be wrong, but I think unless you're really engaging with people and being part of a more rounded 360 conversation, you're going to find it harder and harder to get some of those larger teams into the field.